Hi, Richo here from Composite ARF. Today I'm going to show you how to get your engine in the centre of your engine dome, and so that your spinner and everything will be in the middle of the cowl. I get quite a few emails from people asking me how to exactly go about this. Now, Composite ARF don't mark out the engine dome for you, and there's a couple of reasons for this. Besides the variations and the kinds of engines out there, when they put the dome in, the dome is always in the right place, but when they put the ply plate on the front, it's floated on a bed of epoxy, so clearly that can move around. It's not an exact science. It's not always going to be exactly the right place, but mostly it's because of the variations in the engines. Now today I've got a DA120 here, which we'll put in this SU31 2.75 metre, and I'll show you how easy it is. It's not difficult at all. All you need is a ruler, a square and a pencil. So let's get started. I'll get the cowl off and I'll show you how it's done. Alright, you'll notice that on the front of here we have the firewall already marked up. I'll show you how I got these marks, how I found them. So essentially what we're trying to do here is to find the centre of the cowl where the spinner is going to be and transpose that information onto the firewall. This isn't too difficult to do. For the purposes of the video, I've taken the top half of the cowl off. Normally I always do this with the cowl always fully assembled. Major reason for that is when you do, when you set it up here halfway, when you do the bolts up, when it's fully assembled, it can distort just a little bit and it can be fractionally off. So I prefer it with it fully assembled. You're going to make sure that you get everything in the right place the way you want it to do when everything's done up. Now with a round cowl, this isn't such a big deal. Even if it moves off a couple of mil, it's not a big problem. But with a fitted cowl that you get with a 330SC or an H540 for instance, where you have the moulded ring just behind the spinner, you want to make sure that's in the middle. It can be quite irritating that you get your marks just by using the half cowl method, and then when you put it all together and with the engine in and it pulls it slightly off, 2 millimeters on that can look quite funky. You certainly don't want that to happen. So for the purpose of the video, we've taken the top half off just so visually you can see what we're doing here. Now essentially what we're going to do is just measure the front of the cowl here to find the centre, and we're going to transpose those lines and we're going to find ourselves a vertical and the horizontal. Now to do this, all you need is a rule, a square and the pencil. Now what we're going to do is measure from the front across here, and on this model it's 270 millimeters, so half of that's 135. So what we're going to do is get the back edge of the square flush on the firewall, bring it up to the rule, measure out to 135, make sure it's flat on the firewall, and there's our mark. Okay, now to get the horizontal line, we'll come up, put the back edge on flush on the firewall and just bring it up until it touches the rule, and that's our horizontal area. So we'll bring that up, just hold that, there we have it, make a mark. Now that we've done that, what we'll need to do now is to take the cowl off, square up the model, and we'll do that with a couple of spirit levels, and I'll show you how to put these marks on. Okay, you can see I have a level set up across the canopy rails here. Now I've already checked to make sure that the wing tube and the canopy rails are level with each other, and they are on this one. So you can use the wing tube if you want. Just put the wing tube most of the way through and have it hanging out the other side, and put a smaller spirit level on it if you forgot one, if you don't have a larger one. I've already checked that these are already in a line. They are, so I've set this up for the purpose of the video off the top here, so it's a little easier to see what I'm doing. Now what we're going to do with our lines that we've already got to get our horizontal line, now that everything's all leveled up, is to place the spirit level, get that nice and square, and get your pen out. Once you're nice and happy and you're on the line there, draw the centre line straight up the middle. Same goes with the horizontal line. Find your horizontal mark that you put on previously, get your level, then just draw your line, and there you have it. You've got your centre lines all set up. With this dome particularly, it's got an offset in it already set up, so now we've found the centre where the engine needs to be bolted in. If you have a look at this off the centre line here, it's about 7 millimeters offset from the centre line, as it should be. Because the dome's already got right thrust built into it, you don't have to do any of those calculations. You just got to find the centre of the spinner and the job's done. So now you can mark out for a DA120 for instance, it's 70 millimeters across and 80 millimeters high. You can mark out your bolt pattern, drill it and get your engine mounted. Okay, so here's the end result. Doesn't take too much, it's pretty straightforward. All you need is a pencil, square and a ruler, and your engine's in the centre. It's not that daunting, it's not that difficult. And if you take your time and think about it, you end up with a great result.